Alright, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Talking That Talk. I go by the name of King Exodus Nasud, aka X.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Juice, aka Nora, the brother, aka Rising Pharaoh, aka shit. I was in the club moment, baby. And it's up, and it's up, and it is. But shoot, man, what's going on with y'all world, man? I'm gonna go ahead and hit y'all with the subject, man. I'm gonna have to do it, man. Look, X don't know shit about what I'm about to say. You know what I'm saying? So this is the topic of discussion. Topic of discussion is, can you let a man be a man without you directing him? So this is what I see what's going on in the world, right? Lately, not even for myself, I see women that got to put in the motion and direction of how to be a man to a point that I understand the only reason that they direct men is because they always dated lesser men, right? The men that you have to always tell, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. But when y'all start dating men who are actually on a higher level, you still feel the need to direct them in order to, how can I say this? In order to move them. But that's actually like kind of a turnoff. I don't know if y'all ever peeped that, right? I don't like a woman telling me how to be a man when I know how to basically put myself on a level where I know I'm executing better than most, right? So you ain't got to tell me, hey, as a man, you got to do this. Hey, man, you got to look. I already know what I need to do, right? So I'm gonna pass that on to X, man. Like, how do you feel about the situations where women feel they have the need to direct men all the time instead of let a man be a man?
When you say let a man be a man, like what you?
Okay, like I said, okay. Put it like this. We're in a society where people want to cling to gender roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why, if we already know the gender roles, quote unquote, that's already been, established as mankind, why are we still being directed on how to do it? For instance, take out the trash. We know to take out the trash. Hey, man's a provider. Okay, the man's a provider. Okay, it's different things that I never just quite understood.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to be said every step of the way, right? So I guess let me elaborate. I don't see you as a lesser man, right? When I say I don't see you as a lesser man. I don't see you on the path that a woman has to dominate you or step in a position as an alpha, and you're basically kind of restrained back on how to be a man, right? So if she's not in control, then she has to direct. She has to direct you when she's in control. But when she's not in control and she's dating a higher man, I see like it's kind of unbalanced for her.
Okay. All right. So what I can say on that is, you do have some guys that, they a little on the bitchy side. So if a chick is interested, she might feel a need to tell them how to step up because they may not do it automatically. Then you have men that's in go mode. Right?
G.O. Green light niggas.
And then you have dudes that just need a little, both sexes can teach the other sex. So I don't want to discredit that. You know what I'm saying? Just as long as it's mutual and both people benefit each other in their growth, fine. But I think this conversation is about maybe when it's done excessively.
Yes, there you go. There.
If you have to do that excessively, it's either you a pure control freak or you just need to find another partner.
There you go. There we go. We're cooking now. That's how we go.
If you got to tell a man, hey, not just, okay, a man got a job, that's fine. He may not be the provider, that's fine. But if you have to tell him, hey, be more ambitious, you know what I'm saying, there's more you can do. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that if that's just where it starts and it stays that way and he listens. But if you have to keep telling the man over and over and over again, this ain't enough, you know what I'm saying, you need to be more ambitious. I ain't gonna say you're a control freak, I'm gonna just say you're a woman that want more and that person can't give you what it is that you're asking for. So It's either you know what I'm saying? Some men need a little growth, and some men just don't need to be dealt with. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on the headache that you would want to have. You know what I'm saying? Same thing, vice versa for dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Some dudes, you know what I'm saying? First off, what I skipped over is, are you really trying to help that person grow? Are you trying to help that man grow? Or are you just trying to make him out to be what's on your wish list? That's the difference. If it's about growth, fine. That's constructive criticism. We all need that, but you can't turn a person into your dream.
Mm-hmm.
The dream is when you sleep. When you wake up, that may not be the reality. You know what I'm saying? That's like that meme where it was like, chicks be like, they want a dude that's like 6'2", cut up, got over 6 figures in the bank, all these qualities, but they dad look like the fucking dad from House Party. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, and that's going back to standards, sometimes you have to be realistic with your standards that you have in your reality. You can't want more than what you actually deserve or what you actually can handle. I ain't gonna
okay, look. What he's talking about is the deserving factor. I'm going to go ahead and touch up to that for you, young man. So, one of my good mentors I would listen to, named Ty Lopez, he always said the deserving factor. He said everybody wants the good life, but does everybody deserve the good life? Right? So, and in that segment, I understood what he was saying. Like, everybody's going to want it, but who deserves it? Who's going to outwork who to get it? Who's going to put themselves on that, on the top of the list to make sure like everything gets manifested? That's why when you tell people, hey, you're lucky, you got this wife, or you got these fans, like, ain't none of this shit luck. This is hard work. I deserve this shit. So, you know, that's why people get offended. But I'm going to touch up on the stage real quick, and then I'm going to go ahead and get my elaboration on it real quick.
Yeah, don't do that. Hold
on, I just had it up, man. It just disappeared. So, the statement says, most of these women want the authority of a man, the advantage of a woman, the accountability of a child. So I want to ask you, what do you feel about that, right? So, authority of the man, I just gave you the example. You want to direct men on how to do everything. 2, I do see women who still want the advantage, right? No matter...
That's funny, man. That's powerful.
But it's true. It's true though.
That was in Sanskrit.
Man, look, man, goddamn, let me work, man. Let me get consensus. So 2, the advantage of a woman. So no matter how masculine you are, you still want to be treated on a woman, right? When you can direct men this and that, and you be like, oh, well, I'm the woman. You should want to cater to it. But it's like, hold on, are you gonna be feminine? You know what I'm saying? Or you just want to be the aggressor 24/7? Right, I still see that, right? And the accountability of the child, that is fucking real, right? Anytime I've called women out on their bullshit, it's you know something about well, you should be forgiving, you know, forgive. I was like, God damn, you know, as a man, if you tell that to any women, oh girl, jump his sorry ass, he's a fuckboy. You can't get none of that passes. But I understand when you call out women, they don't like that shit. They're gonna move around until somebody find it. Like pretty much every woman I ever called out on accountability level, except for maybe a few, all left. They don't like that shit, right? I remember one chick I was talking to. I said, "Hey, look, I've been dealing with you for quite some time. These are some factors of my life for you to work on, and when you work on them, we could come back together and build forward from there." She told me, "Man, I'm feeling neglected. I'm not feeling But then when I list up the compound things that you have done. Look, times where you haven't executed this. You want to do these expensive ass dinners, but you're not showing up. I'm paying for this shit, and you're not doing that. Like when you just steady put things in people's faces, and they still want to look. Oh, well, you know, things happen. These are things you asked for. So when you put the accountability on the ass, they want to look the other way, right? And it's still funny to this day because every woman I ever called out on accountability action always get in a relationship. And let's hit you with this quote: "I found somebody gonna set me for me." They don't want to. No, you call them out. They go. That's one of the toxic traits they have. They quick to find somebody else who can be like, you know, you got some flaws. I'll deal with it though. Oh, I got somebody.
That's how it
That's how it sounds. That's how it sounds. Then got the camera out. Oh no, you know. and that's really like a true statement. Anytime a woman has called me out, I always have stepped up. There's not a person I can give you that's ever like, yo, he don't step up. But then when you ask about things, like, well, you know, I was going through some things. Like, and you know, it's too many fucking excuses. That's just like accountability is just not there. Okay. It's just not there, man. Go ahead, man. What you think about that statement? Now, do I need to read for you again? Do you want me to read that?
I remember that.
Man, let me read it for you, man.
I sunk that in my heart as soon as I heard it, man. So, okay, so the conversation is about women wanting the dominance that a man has. You know what I'm saying? So they go back to that whole mentality, like happy wife, happy life, not happy spouse, happy house. Mm-hmm. So I think it's all about balance. You know what I mean? Like, you got this book called The Way of the Superior Man. But in the book, it's not just talking about a man being balanced with his feminine counterpart. He's actually talking about both sexes.
Yeah.
So the shit is about balance. If you want dominance and you want that shit, comes with dominance comes responsibility. Mm-hmm. Responsibility comes with accountability. Mm-hmm. So you can't have one without the other. Uh-huh. They go back to that whole like conversation we had about mothers. You know what I'm saying? We got songs like Dear Mama. Even though you was a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama. Fuck that. If you was a crackhead, you was a crackhead. I can't put you in the same equation of somebody that's actually being productive towards society. Now, it's not saying that because you failed or had a mishaps, you less than average and you just scum of the earth. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that. But that line shows no accountability towards women. Because if a single
said that. He said that.
If a single father was a crackhead, you're not gonna still say I'm a black king.
Yeah, like, get that crackhead around.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
like,
watch your purse, watch your wallet, man.
That's not gonna be the respect I get. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't just society. That's people's comfort that taught you that. You know what I'm saying? That some kind of way one sex get a pass, and then another way the other sex don't. Uh-huh. Now, to clap back for some women, you look at parenting. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. When fathers want to be absent, we can do that. Mother kind of has to stay there a little bit more, but let's not pretend like women don't abandon their kids either.
I think we touched up on that a couple times.
We did. So, going back to the statement that was made, accountability is equally balanced. But the more dominant you want to be, you have to take more accountability. Okay? So, the child equation is thrown into that because I think that children have an innocence. You know what I mean? But they also have a conscience that's not so innocent, to where children want to see who they can get over on 24/7. And so the way that fits to me is that you can't be dominant, lack accountability, and still have innocence at the same time. Because now you just got your cake, your ice cream, you got it how you want to. And then when you want to be dominant and aggressive, you can get that how you want to as well. So the only way that would work is for a submissive man that accepts that some kind of way in his brain, this is just how women are. You know, a lot of men settle just like women settle. You know, you see the married guy who every day he got a honey-do list. You know what I'm saying? He pay bills, he do this, he do that.
You spot on the phone, honey.
He probably ain't happy at home. Wife probably not even giving up the poom poom. Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Tell it, right?
But he's happy when he's in his garage or in his man cave. Like,
woodworking and stuff. Yeah, okay.
That can't be life. Now, for some men, that's life, right? But not everyone feels that way. Mm-hmm. So, going back to the statement. Just like women wouldn't want a man that's overly controlling, he yell at you, but he might not put his hands on you, but he's nice and all this other kind of shit. At some point, we just gotta accept that if you're a toxic person with a lot of bipolar shit going on within you, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay? Something's wrong. And I think that comes from childhood when you let little girls be disrespectful to their parents, get their way, they sassiness is cute, but then at the same time, when they take it too far, then you want to pull a belt out.
Uh-huh.
It don't work like that. And that's a conversation I had before. It's like, sometimes do you take the voice away from children and then kind of control how they have it, or do you just let them be outspoken? And that goes back into this conversation. A lot of people go back to the innocence of a child because 9 times out of 10, they're going to go back to the childhood and what they were allowed to do when they was children.
No, they had no responsibilities.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, man. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a couple situations and scenarios out there. And this is when I say you gotta let a man be a man, okay? So, your first example, right? I remember one time I was in this group setting, right? It was a couple friends, it was myself. And everybody was talking, and then somebody was like, hey, Juice, do you have a kid? And I was like, yes, I have a daughter. The woman and her man, there was a couple. And the girl said, how are you raising your daughter? I bet you're raising her to be independent. I said, I'm not. And she said, oh, you got a problem with independent women or something? And I'm feeling her tonality, right? But I'm looking at the man, I was like, I wonder if he gonna say something, right? So I said, I'm raising my daughter to be self-sufficient, not independent. I don't want her using terminologies that have been effective on a course where it has caused a lot of disruptions and the terms, I don't need a man. I want to be self-sufficient where she can still do everything she wants. Quote unquote, she's still independent, but she won't be able, I don't want her using those terminologies. Because when you're self-sufficient, that means you're ready and open to let somebody else step in. When you're independent, you're just telling people, look, I don't fucking need you. So she kind of got upset. She was on some, well, I don't think it's a problem. She want to be independent. You know, you should be empowering her to be independent. And the louder she gets, I'm making eye contact with her. I'm start looking at the dude. I'm like, I wonder if he's going to say something. So I said, hey, you know what? That's cool.
You know that's how she talked to him at the house. Right?
Yeah. No. I'm not done with the story. I'm not done with the story. So he's like, well, I think you should be empowered. I was like, this is the crazy part. She still referred to herself as independent while being in a relationship with a man. I was just like, bro, I really feel like that's some ultimate disrespectful shit. Cause you there, but you not saying so. So I asked the man, I said, hey, y'all in a relationship, right? He's like, yeah, we're in a relationship. Do you feel like she's disrespecting you because she's calling herself independent and y'all in a relationship? Does that make you still independent, or do y'all coexist as a couple, a unit? And he was like, well, I think my woman's. He didn't want to like talk for himself. And I was like, yo, man, this is about to drive me crazy. So everybody's engaged into this dialogue now. And then it's something that sparked everybody's interest. It was like, well, yeah, I don't see the part, and I actually one of the dudes there was like, I like the fact you said you want to raise her self-sufficient, because I can see kind of how the damage is that women want to refer to themselves as independent so much. When it hits the man's mind, I'm independent, you basically say, I don't need him. You want it, you appreciate it. That's cool, but your mentality is, because we heard it so much, we see it replicated so much, and we see the actions that women do as independent women. Fuck, he's only good for his dick and his wallet.
All right, I gotta hop in on that. I don't want to lose where he at. We got problems, yo. So women quote the Bible when they want to, and they be like, well, the woman is the backbone. She's the neck. She hold a man's up. Right. So you're establishing the fact that the woman is vital to the family. She's an important piece. On the chessboard, the queen can make moves that nobody else can make. And her job is to protect the king. Okay? So,
protect the king.
But when we go to this quote-unquote feminist thinking, you want women to be independent. So it's okay for the woman to be a necessity for the man. Right? But it's not okay for the man to be a necessity for the woman, and that's the imbalance.
Super imbalanced.
Independent means that you don't need a man, but at the same time, a man needs a woman. So what you're gonna do is, in the structure of a relationship, you're gonna make the woman here, and you're gonna put the man here. Even though you think it's the reverse because of misogyny, but it's actually women that practice misogyny as well.
Right.
Right. So if she's more valuable, then that means she's like that on every level. She's more valuable when it comes to time, attention, gift giving, sex, perhaps. Everything should be centered around her, and less should be centered around men.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they are the prize.
Right. But some women want to be dominant, but at the same time, they say they want an alpha man. And I can see it because alpha men sometimes don't want weak, submissive women. I get it, but it's about balance. Are some women too strong for even a strong man? We know they can dominate a weak man, but at some point, have women taken things too far? So,
I'm going to say yes. And the only reason I'm going to say that is because if a man doesn't want to deal with their attitude, he's considered weak. Now, you go ahead, Paul. You go ahead and continue.
Right. So, and that goes back to another comment that I've heard spoken. In order for a relationship to work, a man has to want a woman, 5 or 10 times more than she wants him. I'm not a woman. I think that's trash, though, because the relationship being effective is not based on desire. It's based on effectiveness,
right?
Communication, balance. Okay, a man can have a successful relationship and a prosperous marriage with even a woman he settled for. That can be his second or third wife. His first wife probably was the love of his life, but he's taking the lessons he learned from the love of his life and he's applying it to the second and the third wife. So I don't think he probably wanted the second and third wife as much as he wanted the first one, because maybe he was more crazy in love with the first one. But it's about experience. It's not about desire all the time. So they go back to like the whole Russell Wilson phenomena. Like, I don't know what he said, but quote unquote, he was like his biggest fear in his life was losing his wife. And some people went crazy. I didn't go crazy, but I cringed because I'm like, okay, bro, you play professional football. You take the wrong hit, you're not gonna be able to wipe your ass again. So if X gonna choose, I'm gonna wipe my ass before I say my biggest fear is losing a woman. That's just me. It's not saying I don't love that woman, but I like the fact that I can wipe my own ass. So it wasn't even the fact that, okay, well, losing a kid is my biggest fear. As a parent, a woman is never gonna put a man before her child. And then some women will say, well, it's in nature. She's supposed to be that way with her child, right? So why can't society accept that a man can have a similar, even a similar bond with his child? So he got to put his wife or his woman before his flesh and blood. But it's understood when you come in contact with a woman, her number one job is to nurture and protect her children. That's a double standard. The man has to pick his woman and submit to his woman, but the woman can put herself before the man or even her children before the man. And it's probably not what a lot of women want to hear, because when we think of relationships, if it's a bad guy, we automatically assume it's the man. He put money before his family. He put side women before. He cheat on his family. He leave his family. He's not responsible. He's not this. He's not that. This conversation is about the other side. So I'll leave that on that. You want to talk about old Russ?
I mean, sure. I was just gonna piggyback off that little example you said. I even finished the story of my daughter. I can tell that another time. But I say he's absolutely right. Right. So I remember one time in Houston, I was gonna go on this little date. Right. I was gonna meet up with this woman. Right. She has a child. Right. And I had a crazy scenario happen. The mother of my child called me, and she was like, "Hey, we're not able to get your daughter right now. Would you be able to get her?" I said, "Absolutely, I have no problem with that." So I called the chick. No, I texted her and said, "Hey, look, can we reschedule? I got to get my daughter right now. I'm sorry, this come on a short notice." I didn't hear back from this chick for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" Like I think the next day I was like, "Hey, look, I'm just saying what's up to you. Like I said, I apologize again that I wasn't able to get to you." She responded like within those 2 weeks, was like, "Well, I didn't feel the need to respond back based on the answer you gave me."
And to piggyback,
but see, look, it was literally me picking up my daughter, and it wasn't like, "Oh, I'm about to go fuck with my baby mom." It was none of that shit. It dealt with my child, but if a woman does that to a man, the man's just gonna be like, "Oh, yo, look, you're a mother. I gotta accept that."
and a big problem with that. Okay, if a man steps up and take care of another woman's kids in that relationship, he's God, right?
He's
greatest thing on earth, right? But let him try to prioritize his own child in that equation sometimes. Now he has to choose between his own flesh and blood, once again, or his woman. And we don't bring that conversation to the table. We bring deadbeat fathers, we bring men that don't step up, right? But what about the women that are so selfish of men being men, because that's what we're talking about, that they have to put themselves first even before that man's child, his flesh and blood. Now, that's a problem. Being within this conversation, that's a big problem. So, going back to the whole root of the conversation, if a man tell a woman how to be a woman, the first thing women say is, "Well, you're not a woman. You don't have menstrual cycles.
You don't know how I feel."
And you right to the motherfucker.
Right to the motherfucker.
We don't. You know what I'm saying? So I can't tell you how to be a woman. So keep that same energy with productive men that may fall shy of your expectations from time to time. Because we're not here to fulfill your expectations. We're here to be men. Mm-hmm. Sometimes anybody, your kid can let you down. You can let you down. Anybody, your parents can let you down. So it's not the whole men to a standard that we're no longer human. Because if we put women on that pedestal, they fail miserably every single time.
Oh man, I got it right now. Do you think men who are what's the word? Do women actually like men who are more on a traditional level or more on a sympathetic level, right? They always
That's easy.
like this is the crazy part, right? When we say like the word simp, right? Men, we talk about on a level that we like men that's gonna capitalize on things that, you know, keep his masculinity there, right? Right? And simping is just on the status of like giving in no matter what, right? So that's when I noticed, like, when women be like, "Yeah, I like a gentleman," you like the fact you can take advantage of that man. It's not always the what's the words I want to say? The etiquette, the manners, the chivalry. It's not even that. You see that this man is willing to give you everything, and you don't have to say much. To opposed to the man who believes, "Hey, put that work in,